Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ABCs of ABA. So today we're going to be talking about how to convince somebody to do something that they don't want to do. In ABA, one of the strategies that they use to do this is called the Premack Principle. It's also known as Grandma's Rule, and it's one of the most basic strategies of ABA and one of the easiest for you guys to implement at home. Don't worry, I promise it's not about giving kids a ton of sugar until they're running off the walls and bouncing off the ceilings and then sending them home to their parents. It's not at all about that. So the first thing we need to talk about is what we do throughout our day. Throughout our day, we complete many tasks, and if we wanted to break it down, probably at least 100. We get dressed, brush our teeth, shave, put on makeup, make breakfast, eat, exercise, clean, deliver mail, check social media, prepare dinner, dust, vacuum, take a shower, read a book, make a phone call, watch TV, play a game. As you can see, the list could and does go on and on. So now when you're thinking about these lists of tasks, what you can really do is break them down into 3 separate lists. The first list is going to have all of the tasks and activities that you like doing that are enjoyable. These are the tasks that, given the opportunity to do with no directions on what you need to get done for that day, you would naturally choose to do these activities. For many people, these include watching TV, eating desserts, baking, swimming, painting, etc. And in the world of ABA, these are known as your high preference activities. Now, the second list that you're going to make is a list of all of the tasks that you will do. You don't necessarily like doing them, but you'll do them without too much complaint. These might include doing the dishes, laundry, yoga, reading, or drawing. And in the world of ABA, these are known as your medium preference activities. Now, the last list is where you put all of the tasks that you really don't like doing, but that still need to be done. For a lot of people, this might include grocery shopping, composting, schoolwork, gym class. And in the ABA world, these are known as your low preference activities. It's important to remember that everybody's list is going to be a little bit different. I can tell you right now that I hate swimming. It is definitely going on my low preference list. That does not mean that it's on your low preference list. Think about Pooh and Tigger for a minute. Pooh's high preference activities are probably eating honey, sleeping, hanging out with Piglet, and seeing Christopher Robin, whereas Tigger's are jumping and spending time with Roo. The medium preference activities for Winnie the Pooh are gardening and spending time with other friends. And for Tigger, it's spending time with other friends. And their low preference activities. For Winnie the Pooh, it's cleaning and work, and for Tigger, it's work. So as you can see, their medium and low preference activities tend to be more similar than their high preference activities. They have very different high preference activities. One likes to eat and sleep, and one likes to bounce, bounce, bounce. So now the question is, now that we have our lists, why do they really matter? They matter because you can use these lists to set your day up for success. As much as you can, rotate activities between low preference and high preference activities. This naturally provides motivation to complete the tasks that you don't want to do. Let's pretend for a minute that you have a child whose name is Xavier. Xavier is a 3-year-old boy. His lists look something like this. As you can see, he really hates cleaning up his toys. He hates getting his diaper changed and going for walks in the stroller. But he loves watching Baby Shark, listening to music, and reading stories. Puzzles are so-so. So now let's imagine that your playroom is covered with toys. How do you get him to clean up? If you tell him, first we're going to clean up, and then we're going to have a diaper change, you might get a full-blown tantrum. He might be willing to clean up, or maybe there's going to be crying and screaming, or maybe just pouting. But what if we were to present it in a slightly different way? What if we were to tell him that first he had to clean up, and then he were to get Baby Shark? Do you think that would make him a little happier? I bet he'd be more willing to get through that cleanup because he wants that Baby Shark. So what am I suggesting that you do? I'm suggesting that as you think about your day, you rotate between low preference and high preference activities. This way, your kiddo always has something that they like coming next. So now you might be asking me, what does this have to do with grandma? and comes down to the fact that you need to eat your peas before you have your ice cream. In simple terms, it's about motivation, having a carrot, not a stick, after an activity that your kiddo doesn't like. In simple terms, it suggests rotating high preference and low preference activities throughout the day. So now we did talk about medium preference activities. So where does that fit in? Let's remember Xavier again. He was going to clean up the living room in order to watch Baby Shark. Well, he did that, and now he knows that the diaper change is next. Some kiddos won't have a problem moving on from the high preference activities, but others will be very upset. They don't want to give up that phone in order to go have their diaper changed. So what do? You put in a medium preference activity after the high preference activity and ease that transition. Instead of expecting baby Xavier to hand over the Baby Shark and then go get his diaper changed, which is likely to be a big struggle, you have Xavier do puzzles after Baby Shark. After Xavier has done puzzles for a little while, then you cue him to go do his diaper change. And what do you think you're going to tell him comes after that diaper change? Yep, that's right. You're going to tell him that there's coming another high preference activity and that you guys are going to jam out to some music. So what does that mean? Again, switch low preference and high preference activities all day. Now, you might be thinking, I can't schedule my day like that all the time. Sometimes I got to throw stuff in, or I hate scheduling my day. How does this really work for me? Well, the cool thing about the Premack Principle is that it doesn't have to be just pre-scheduled activities that you rotate between low and high preference. You can use this strategy totally on the fly. Just always remember, put the thing they want to do after the thing that they need to do. So what are some real life examples of this? Get your kiddo into their car seat. First, they get into their car seat, a low preference thing, and then they get to choose the music or have you honk the horn, a high preference thing. First, they drink some water, then they have to get a few sips of Kool-Aid that you were drinking. First, they have to eat some carrots, and then they can eat their mac and cheese. First, they have to walk to the end of the driveway to get the mail with you, and then you'll race them back to the swings. First, they have to put the trash out with you, and then they can stop in the puddles on the way back. First, you have to wash their hair in the tub, then you will put in bubbles. Even these might seem a little bit pre-planned, but they don't have to be. You can be on the way to the grocery store, something that you've done a million times before successfully, and all of a sudden you start to get the attitude from your kiddo. And boom, if they do well in the store, it's a dance party once the groceries are in the car. You know your kiddo. You know what they like to do. Use it. Whatever the activity it is, it just needs to be better than the activity that they don't want to do. So let's recap. You identify low preference activities, activities that are going to be a challenge for your kiddo. You identify high preference activities, activities that your kiddo really likes, and then you rotate them. You make sure that your low preference activities are always followed by a high preference activity. Make sure that you're having your kids eat their peas before you give them ice cream. Don't try giving them the ice cream first and then asking them to eat their peas. Once more, eat your peas before you get your ice cream. And that's all I have for today, folks. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a question in the comments section. Thanks again, and I hope to see you on the next episode of ABCs of ABA.